Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to review my very first movie of 2017, Underworld Blood Wars. This is the 5th installment of the Underworld franchise, and this movie is directed by Anna Forster. And the plot is we see Celine, once again played by Kate Beckinsale, and she's on her own. There's no Michael, there's no Eva or Eve, her daughter from the last movie. She's on her own. She's being hunted down by Vikings because they want her blood, her daughter's blood, to get stronger. But she's also being hunted down by one of the last vampire covens. And they want her because of what she's done to the few vampire elders over the last couple movies. So she's on her own until David, played by Theo James, comes in to help her out. So it's the two of them against the world. Now, what I thought of Blood Wars, the Underworld movie, is I thought the movie was just okay. Just okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. And this is somebody who I've really enjoyed the Underworld franchise, the series. I have, especially the earlier films, the mythology, the backstory that they build up in that first film. I really got into it. And you could say that with every sequel, it's sort of devolved in the story and it's been more about the action, and that's been fine. Hell, even the last movie, Awakening, that everybody hates apparently, but I really enjoyed it just because it put the story in the background. It focused more on crazy action and really going for it, having fun. This movie kind of goes backwards. We're back into hiding of sorts, and it's more about the vampires and Vikings going against each other once again. And I just felt like for most of this movie, I felt bored. I felt disinterested by the story. It felt like not a whole lot was going on. I understood what they were trying to do, setting up these brand new characters and these brand new elders and who's in position of power and where Celine stands in this new world. But I was finding it hard to latch on to any of these characters besides the ones that we already knew. Of course, Kate Beckinsale is great. She's very hot, she's very attractive, but I think she's a good actress. And the fact that you see her in real life and you never really would buy her as being an action star or somebody that can kick ass, but when you see her in this movie in that leather outfit and she's being a vampire kicking ass, you buy it. For whatever reason, you buy it, and I think she's great. Theo James as David, he was in the last movie. I thought I remembered reading an interview with him where he said that he was going to be in this movie, but only a few scenes because he had scheduling issues with the Divergent movies. Well, I don't know what happened because he's all over this movie. He's like one of the top main characters just behind Celine. And you know what? I didn't mind him. I didn't mind him in the movie. I thought he had a lot going on just with himself and his backstory. Charles Dance is back as well as his father. And again, I enjoyed the dynamic between them. You got a little bit more of their relationship and their backstory, more than you got in the last movie. You have Tobias Menzies as Marius, and he's the brand new leader of the Lycans, and he was a guy that you could have got behind, you could have found interesting if the movie made him interesting. They don't really make him interesting. He's kind of just a generic leader villain. In the old movies, we had Lycans who at least we understood their backstory. We understood where they come from. They came off as bad guys, but then you saw that they were slaves and that they hated the vampires for a good reason. And in the old movies, the Lycans were kind of the good guys. And at some point, we just forgot all of that. And these werewolves, Lycans, whatever you want to call them, they're back to being mindless beasts and bad guys. There's not really anything to them. I wish there was something more behind this, because just on the surface, what Marius wants to do is he wants the blood to end this war. And you kind of hear that and go, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. How much longer can these two species keep fighting each other? It keeps going on and on. Laura Pulver plays Samira, and she's one of the vampire elders who is obsessed and consumed with getting more powerful. She wants Celine's blood. She wants to consume it and become just as powerful as her. Again, not that interesting, generic, and doesn't really pan out to be as big as I think the setup was for it. Bradley James plays one of her underlings that I don't really understand his character arc either. They try to give him a character arc, but you don't know why he makes the choices that he makes. He just kind of does. The lack of the Michael character and even the Eve character, her daughter, these two characters were pretty big in the franchise. Michael especially, he's the first ever hybrid. Eve being the hybrid daughter of the two. And they're both not here. I know Scott Speedman does not want to come back to this series. He's made that proven, and he's not going to come back. So that's not their fault. But there's no reason why her daughter had to be gone. Like, did they just not feel like bringing that actress back? Or that was a character to where you could have just recasted her and put makeup on her and make her look slightly different or older. It seemed lazy why so many of these characters wasn't here, and why they just relied on these flashbacks of old footage from the old movies to explain their whereabouts or what happened to them. Even Amelia, who's a character that hasn't been there since like the first movie, and they do a whole bunch of stuff with her, but it's all archive footage. There was moments where the editing was a little weird at times, especially at the beginning, where it just seemed like they were just throwing scenes together and it wasn't as cohesive. But somewhere in the halfway point, maybe a little after the halfway point, there was a big battle. And I thought that action was shot well. I thought the effects were great and choreographed, and just seeing finally a big battle, because it took a while for this movie to get going. But that wasn't the only one. There was another big battle just a little after that. And so two big battles. I wish the story was better. There's so many moments where certain things happen, especially with Celine's character. I'm sure you see in the trailer that she develops powers, and I won't go into it, but it's all weird. It's weird the direction that this franchise is going. I'm kind of done with it. Like, not done where I'm not going to watch any more movies, but I'm not as interested by these stories anymore. I wish they'd just end it, honestly. I didn't hate the movie. I'm going to give it a rental. But a rental because I saw this in 3D, and it really did not need to be in 3D. I wasted a lot of money just to see this in 3D. I tried to give it a chance. It was just okay at best. So guys, let me know in the comments below, did you see Underworld Blood Wars? What did you think of it? Did you like it more than I did, or did you hate it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!